Virexus World, your channel. Strategy starts with knowledge. Today we will analyze conscious versus subconscious. Who is driving? The mystery of the iceberg and the silent giant. The greatest conflict in the universe isn't happening among the stars. It is happening right now, inside your skull. Every morning you wake up, you think you are making the choices. You believe you are the one charting your own course. But what if I told you that 95% of your life is run by an autopilot? Today, we dive into the massive part of the iceberg beneath the surface, the subconscious. Who is more powerful? The logical you or the silent it? Let's remember Sigmund Freud's famous iceberg analogy. The small glittering tip you see above the water is your conscious mind. It analyzes, it plans, it knows that 2 + 2 = 4, and it claims to make logical decisions. But the massive, dark, and seemingly endless mass beneath the water is the subconscious. Neuroscience proves this difference with shocking numbers. Our conscious mind can process about 40 bits of data per second. That's like reading a single short text message. Yet, your subconscious processes a staggering 11 million bits per second. As you read this sentence, your subconscious is regulating your heartbeat. It is recording thousands of details in your surroundings. Without you even noticing, your pupils are adjusting to the light. Your blood sugar is being balanced. The subconscious is a massive data center that stays open 24/7. Every fear and every joy you've experienced since birth is stored here. The subconscious never sleeps, never tires, and most importantly, it never judges. It accepts every piece of information and every experience as an absolute truth. If you were afraid of a dog as a child, why does your heart race years later when you see one? Your conscious mind says, "The dog is tied up, don't worry," but your subconscious opens that old file in milliseconds. Your body is ordered into danger mode, because the part of the iceberg beneath the surface has already made its decision. In reality, this silent giant runs the majority of our lives. It is the architect of our choices, our habits, and even who we fall in love with. Now, let's go deeper to understand how this silent giant is programmed. Discovering these hidden layers is the first step toward taking control of your own life. The programmed mind and the autopilot. The most critical period of our lives is between the ages of 0 and 7. During this time, our brain is like a sponge. Our conscious mind has not yet developed enough to act as a filter. Every sentence you hear from your surroundings is written directly into your subconscious. It is coded like software into a computer. Phrases like, "money is hard to earn," or "you are incompetent anyway," become your reality. These faulty codes emerge as difficult obstacles in adulthood. Even if your conscious mind wants to succeed, the old software sabotages you. In psychology, we call this the self-fulfilling prophecy. The mind plays out the scenario it truly believes in. The subconscious mind's greatest passion is to save energy. Our brain consumes 20% of our body's energy, and making new decisions constantly is exhausting. Therefore, the subconscious puts every repeated action on autopilot. Think about the first day you learned to drive. Every move was conscious and tiring. But today, you can arrive home without even thinking about the route, because the subconscious has taken over the steering wheel. However, there is a catch. The subconscious automates emotions too. If you were constantly anxious growing up, this state might become your normal operating mode. The subconscious doesn't want you to be happy. It wants you to be safe and in a familiar place. This is why you struggle to break habits that hurt you. Because no matter how bad that habit is, it feels like a familiar and safe harbor to your subconscious. Let's remember the Benjamin Libet experiment that shook the scientific world. Half a second before participants decided to press a button, their brains had already produced the signal. This means when you say, "I decided," the decision had already been made. Our conscious mind usually acts as a press secretary that approves the decisions already taken. Could our free will be less free than we think? If so, can we reprogram this massive power according to our own will? Let's see how to speak the language of this silent giant and how to direct it. Updating your own software is more possible than you think. The hidden language and subconscious manipulation. The subconscious does not speak with logical sentences. It speaks with emotions, symbols, and images. It is as cold as a computer processor, but as naive as a child. It can never distinguish between reality and imagination. This is why your heart races while watching a horror movie. It thinks the movie is real. The dreams you see at night are encrypted letters sent to you by your subconscious. Emotions suppressed during the day surface as symbolic stories at night. So, is it possible to manipulate this power? The answer is yes, and everyone is doing it. The world of advertising spends billions to bypass your conscious mind and speak directly to your subconscious. In a soda commercial, you don't just see the taste, you see the happiness of those drinking it. Even if you think you skipped the ad, your subconscious records that illusion of happiness. When you reach for that product in a store, you think you made a conscious choice. But that choice was made weeks ago by an emotion planted deep beneath the iceberg. The biggest manipulator is not the outside world, it is your own inner voice. The sentence, "I can't do this," is an absolute command for the subconscious. It shifts your focus to the negative just to fulfill this command and prove you right. The subconscious always prefers you to be right over being successful. This is why negative suggestions create rusty chains in your mind. The most powerful way to convince the subconscious is emotional repetition. It is not enough to just say something. You must feel it as if it has already happened. If you want a new life, you must first possess the feeling of that life. Because the subconscious only believes what you feel and tries to draw it into your life. It is time to clean out the old and dusty files in your mental library. You must raise your own voice to silence the negative noise from the outside. Now, let's examine how to take back the wheel and achieve mental harmony. The moment you realize you are the architect of your life, the real transformation begins. Taking back the wheel and mental harmony. If 95% of our life is on autopilot, have we completely lost control? Of course not. The solution is to unite the conscious and subconscious toward a common goal. We call this mental coherence, and the key to success lies here. If your conscious says, "I want to lose weight," while your subconscious says, "Eating is safety," a conflict arises. In this war, willpower, the fuel of the conscious mind, eventually runs out. Willpower is like a muscle. When it tires, it leaves the wheel back to old habits. The most effective time to reprogram the subconscious is when the gates are open. These moments are the first 15 minutes after you wake up and the last 15 minutes before you fall asleep. In these moments, your brain is in theta and alpha waves. The defensive walls are down. The dreams you have during these time windows are written directly as commands to the main processor. Visualization is the most powerful tool to trick the subconscious. If you live a success in your mind with all its details, your brain accepts it as a real event. New neural pathways are built, and the subconscious starts working to take you to that goal. The subconscious is a garden. Your conscious mind is the gardener. If the gardener falls asleep, the garden is overrun by weeds and fears from the environment. Knowing that every thought is a seed, you must clean your garden every day with great care. Turn your inner voice into a motivating coach. The quality of your life is determined by these invisible seeds planted in your subconscious. When the conscious and subconscious shake hands, what we call miracles become ordinary. Without needing willpower, you move toward your goals in a natural flow. The moment you feel you are at the wheel is the moment your freedom begins. Getting to know yourself on this journey is the greatest treasure you can possess. There are many more rooms to explore in the depths of your mind. In the next episode, we will go into the dark corridors of memory and the mystery of recollections. May the light of your curiosity and awareness never fade. Stay with your mind. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next videos.